Earthbound podcast.
48, more like I'm always late. Welcome back to the Earthbound podcast.
Oh,
Yo.
whoa,
Yo, what up?
whoa, banger, dude. Listen,
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, think about this. Okay? Think about this. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks,
4
dude.
weeks.
That's
4
going to be
weeks.
episode 52.
You know
Yeah.
what 52 weeks is?
1 year.
1 year.
Wow. You
1
didn't know
year
that.
since I was late for my own birthday.
That's true. You were like 2.5 hours late to your own
Yeah,
birthday.
I was.
Yeah, I want to
But
really
think
quickly
about this.
appreciate
If
that.
you were never late, the Earthbound podcast would have never started,
That's
bro.
true. If you just hung out with us
We would have
normally,
just played Item Asylum.
yeah,
Ugh.
dude.
I always forget that literally the first episode of the Earthbound podcast, we were just playing Item Asylum.
Yeah,
And I got to the point where we just stopped playing and we're just hanging out in the Roblox game.
yeah. Well, also
Yeah.
for context, back then I would record usually on like my laptop at the time, cause like I didn't really have my own computer. I just had a laptop. And that's where I did all my work, and that's how I recorded on that. And I had to leave the game like halfway through because I was worried that running OBS while also in the game was gonna like make my laptop overheat. It was so scuffed. And then I started editing videos, and I was like, maybe I need to upgrade. And so I spent a few hundred on a PC. So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you can probably hear like there's a lot of birds. Well, you guys might not be able to hear as well, but it's gonna come. I'm
No, I
recording.
hear them.
You hear the morning dove, dude. It's gonna be so loud, and you can hear every car. We're back to that era, dude. This used to happen. Remember that
It's the
one
return.
time?
Yeah.
Then the guy on the lawnmower kept going by.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
That was yeah, and I freaked out and had to mute really fast, not like absolutely blast everyone's ears. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen again. Probably. Assuming that guy's like
Probably.
still around.
I just did some looking. I haven't checked the like previously posted episodes on the second channel, but on the actual Earthbound podcast channel, the most popular episode is Earthbound Dungeon, which surprised me,
Yeah.
honestly. That's a fairly newer one.
Well, yeah, but it was a big event. That's why everyone had to
Yeah.
come around and see it. I've watched that like twice now, probably in full. I really liked it.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I want to do another Earthbound dungeon.
Yeah, well, I should say I didn't really watch it. I recommend people don't really watch them. I recommend people listen to them. Listen to them while you're doing something more important is my recommendation, because I put visuals, but they're just slop visuals as like a joke or
Yeah.
like a reference. You know?
The ideal thing is you have it up on like a second monitor while you're doing something else.
I don't even recommend that, dude. Just focus on what you're doing, bro. It's slop, dude. It's like Franco watched it full screen, and I was like, "What are you doing with your life? That you're watching the Earthbound Dungeon in full screen? This is taking up 100% of your attention."
I think he told me like more recently that he's just started listening to them when he goes to bed on his phone. And he like fully sat up when I referenced that like one politician or whatever. He just like bolted awake out of his bed.
Dude. Okay, that reminds me. There's this. I used to have a different sensor noise rather than the Alakazam. And the one time I put it as a Golden Freddy noise, and he said he was falling asleep while listening to it, and when that played, he immediately woke up. It was awesome, dude. I should just start putting jump scares in the middle of it to mess with him in particular. Oh, dude. Oh man. So, yeah, it's a good time. Anyway, I don't know where I put my. Oh, sorry. I wanted to check my phone for topics, because sometimes I write stuff down throughout the week. Also, car. Can we bring that back? Car.
Yo, we can bring that back.
There's a car. So let's get through the stuff that no one cares about first. GTA 6 got delayed.
Oh yeah, that happened a while ago.
I wrote. Sorry, I wrote down in my notes. GTA 6 canceled. That's not what happened. GTA 6 did not get canceled.
It's never coming out, bro.
I would laugh so hard if they just canceled GTA 6 straight up. Imagine.
That would be.
But yeah, no, it got delayed. I don't really care, dude. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be able to play it anyway when it comes out because it's only coming out on like PS5 and Xbox. So
I think it's coming to PC at like a
Yeah.
later date.
yeah, it's coming. It's coming later, but I don't even know if I'm
I
gonna
mean,
buy it on
eventually.
PC because I don't, dude. I only have so much hard drive space. I'm gonna be real. Like
Yeah.
I have several games that are like over 100 gigs now because I downloaded Oblivion like a few days ago and that was like 100. Baldur's Gate 3 is over 100. I have GTA 5. That's also over 100. Like, do I need to keep buying like new hard drives just to run new games? I don't. GTA 6 is probably going to be like literally 200 or 300 gigs. I'm not even gonna lie, dude.
Yeah. Because it's like, look
Yeah.
how realistic it is, bro. Like
But
like
is it fun?
that's yeah.
Is it fun? I found it wild. Okay, because I have I like bring back the whole Oblivion thing because that the new one is over 100. I don't remember what it is. It's like it might be like 110, 115 or something. But the original, which I also have downloaded, was 8 gigabytes. They're the exact same game with the exact same amount of content. It's just fidelity that's making that difference. Like textures and models and sounds and stuff are taking up so much space.
Jeez.
It's
Yeah,
like everything's
that is a
so
lot.
unoptimized, dude.
Did someone say cheese?
Jeez.
What?
I have a friend who like
Josh said
will
cheese,
not
but it
stop
sounded
playing
like
it.
cheese.
I was like, what? Did
I
I say
said
something?
cheese.
Did I-
Or did
it
I
sounded
say
like cheese the
before?
second time you said it. Wait, say
Yeah.
G's.
Jeez.
That's cheese. That sounds like cheese. Maybe I think
So
maybe
I
it's just
have
Discord.
maybe. I have a friend who like won't stop playing Oblivion. And
Oh,
he like has a job and a life and like
In
whatever,
Oblivion?
but he has like
yeah, in Oblivion.
no in real life. I don't know how many hours he's at this point, but he keeps bringing it up. He's like, I won't stop playing Oblivion, and I'm like, okay, man, good for you.
I It is a good game. That's how I felt about it when I was like a kid and I first learned about Oblivion. But I don't know. I've played a bit of the new Oblivion. It's pretty good. I'm not super
Okay,
far in it,
cool.
but like it's just the same game basically. It's just new. Um, so I don't
It's
know.
just it's
That's
the
the
same game
one.
with a new coat of paint, pretty much.
Yeah, and they made stuff a little bit less jank in certain ways. They actually kept some of the jank because that's part of the charm, to be honest. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but other stuff like they just made it less frustrating to play. Like the leveling
that's
system
good.
is a lot easier to do. So yeah, but I don't know, man. It's a good game, but like, dude, it's such a long game, dude. People there's only so much time in the year for big RPG video games. Okay, like
yeah.
I don't know. Except I guess your
I
friend who
don't
can
know.
just conjure the time to do that. Or I guess he has no free time anymore because it's all spent on Oblivion.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I spend all my free
Um,
time on?
uh, Video editing, I assume.
Working.
No, I edit. Josh, I edit one video a month. Josh,
Yeah,
what am I doing
yeah.
right now then? If I don't have any videos to edit right now.
That is true. So what
I
are you doing with your free time?
you know
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing warrant.
Shortest episode ever.
We should do that. We should genuinely do that as a bit one day.
We've made
Where
that
it's
joke
just like,
before. We are actually okay. We are actually becoming the oldest people of all time. It's like
yeah,
this is how this is how like 48-year-old divorced dads talk to each other. Is that
Yeah.
we're like we should do this, we say this. We say we should do the same thing every time, and we don't do it.
Yeah, but it would be
Yep.
funny.
True, you have divorced dad vibes. Can we talk about
I
that?
do.
Yeah, you basically are one. Because you're gonna be a
I don't
father.
know how to respond to that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm literally just saying.
flabbergasted, bro.
I'm saying stuff, and you guys aren't. I'm
Well, what do you
I'm
want me
listening.
to say? Oh yeah, I do have divorced
Dude.
dad energy.
What else is happening in the world?
Yeah.
YouTube drama has been happening,
Uh,
and I don't care, so I'm not going to talk about it. What? I have to put this on. Which part of the brownie is best? You want us to talk about that?
Yeah, what part of the brownie is the best?
I'm an edge lover.
I know you are.
I realized as I was about to say it, I was like, "Oh man, here we go."
Yeah, I also like the edge piece of the brownie.
That was like you stepping like through a landmine of like a verbal landmine right there, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. I have blast protection on.
Yeah.
Weird thing is, Daisy hates edge pieces. She only
Oh.
like
I thought that was going to be a very different sentence. Given the context of how we got into the subject, I thought that was going to be way different. I'm not going to lie.
But she also really hates the corner pieces. Like those are the worst part of the brownie to her.
Oh.
And I don't get it. Like
What?
all parts of the brownie are good, but she's just adamantly like, no, I don't want those. I only want the center pieces. I'm like, okay, man, sure.
Okay. Well, I don't think anyone's complaining, so it's more for other people, you know.
Yeah, I'll take an edge piece.
Yeah.
Do you like the edge?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
I love living life on the edge. So
Over
yeah,
the hedge.
over the hedge.
You know, that's my favorite part of the brownie, the hedge piece.
The edge brownie.
You big Sonic fan? Dude, say that again.
Whoa.
Sorry. I you
You look good.
dude, okay, listen. I am never going to beat the ADHD like accusations anymore because I had two thoughts at the same time, and I had to struggle for which one I was gonna address. I was like, first I was trying to make conversation. Are you a big Sonic fan? And then I was gonna link that into something I learned about like last night about like the Sonic series. And then I heard Sonic fan, and my brain just went in so many circles. I didn't know. I completely lost track of my actions. That was like an automated process that I could not stop. I could not bring myself to make a decision there. I lost all free will. Anyway.
It was like
and a dude. Like you just exploded.
It was just a chain reaction of like different realizations. Okay, but let me tell you. Okay, so I've had some people over, and last night, I remember that I have Sonic and the Black Knight for the Wii. I forgot I had that game, but we were checking it out because I haven't seen that game in like over a decade now, and I forgot how wild some of that game is because basically, if you don't know the story, it's basically an isekai Sonic as they tend to do, but it's like all, his friends are also in this like fantasy medieval world, and they don't remember who he is, and they're all knights, and they're all boss fights that he has to beat because they're knights of like the round table, and basically, several of them have cutscenes where Knuckles especially. So once you beat him, there's a cutscene where he's like, oh, I've lost all honor. I lost this loser. I have to take my own life to keep my honor.
Wait, I know what you're talking about.
It is the wildest cutscene.
And then isn't Sonic just like, hey man, chill out?
Yeah. Basically. He's like, don't do that. And then also, there's when you beat Blaze, she tries to fall into lava. Car.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that,
To
Car?
keep her honor. It's the Knuckles thing, dude. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Birds.
birds.
There are birds. Okay. Anyway, dude.
Yeah, but like that's I'm surprised that they were allowed to go that that
It was
crazy.
wild, dude. It was wild. I have no idea. Honestly, people hate that game, but I thought it was decent when I was a kid. I was pretty bad at it, but I don't know.
I like the concept of it, just the idea of like Sonic the Hedgehog going into medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like people are so hateful towards video games, dude. But I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some games I played as a kid, and I didn't know that they were like universally hated, and I enjoyed them well enough.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
silly. They're silly, goofy times.
Yeah. So I don't know. Dude, something. I wonder how many times I've said "dude" total on
Car.
the show. Car.
Or
I need to shut my window, or else it's gonna happen every 3 seconds. Dude. Okay, listen. I have never like seen a prison in real life. I don't think I've never driven past a prison before.
I have.
Have you been to one?
I'm trying to think. I think I was supposed to as like a high school field trip.
Oh,
what are you
thought that was.
fidgeting with?
What? Oh, sorry. I have like a piece of plastic that I'm rubbing between
I
my
thought I
hands.
was supposed to go to
Okay,
prison. I thought you had.
Well, yeah. Also, but yeah, it was supposed to be like a high school field trip that we were supposed to go to a
To
prison.
prison?
Yeah.
Yes, if you succeed here, this
Don't
is where
go on
you'll
your
go.
fucking grades, kids, or else you're gonna be like us.
This is where you go if you don't go to school.
Study for the test, or you'll be like me. Study for
Yeah.
your Spanish test.
I don't know why it was that, because I'm trying to remember, because there was one where we went to like a museum, and there was one
That
we
makes
went
sense,
to like
but a prison.
I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you. It's been so long. It's been years. I don't even know if they do that at the school I went to anymore.
But you've driven past one, didn't you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
have you?
Not that I can remember, no.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Dude, I don't know, because I know there's a prison near where I live, but I don't think I've ever driven past it. I don't even know where it is.
I'm thinking about it. It's a really funny story. So the prison that I drove past is right next to a homeless shelter that I volunteered at a couple times.
Oh,
so and
you
thinking
volunteered at
about
a
that,
homeless
that's
shelter.
yeah,
When?
That's cool.
yeah. It was a couple of years back. I haven't done it in a while.
Oh,
But it was well, oh yeah.
you don't do it
But
anymore.
yeah, yeah. I served my time, much like the time that I was in prison. But yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
But thinking about that, that's like, I'm trying to think if that's like intentional that they did that, but at the
Wait
same
till
time, I
after
can't.
the homeless
prove-
people.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. That's a little funny in terms of architecture.
Architecture.
Yeah, architecture. I said architecture. Okay.
Yeah.
Daisy has been sending me like 10 messages because I said, "Why don't you like the edge pieces of a brownie?" And then they proceeded to send me like 12 different messages about how they didn't like it because of the texture. And I was like, "You're autistic, bro."
Did we ever talk about how at like 1 a.m. the other day, Daisy was keeping me up by sending like weird schizophrenic images? I thought she was high.
We haven't talked about it, but you can go ahead.
You can go on that.
Well, there's not much to
tangent if you
talk
want.
about, except it was like 1 a.m. I was like, I should have been in bed probably an hour ago. And then I don't know. I just kept receiving DMs
Yeah.
of like
Smoking
completely random.
caterpillar.
Dude, I got the
Horrible.
EA logo, dude. I was like, these aren't even like Facebook memes anymore.
I got because she also sends me memes, but I don't have Discord on I don't use my Discord on my phone, so I luckily don't have to worry about like the notifications. But she
Well, I
sent
had my
this to me
notification shut off.
she sent this to me at like 3 a.m. Which I thought that was very funny. Would you?
It took
If
me
that
two
onion
times to
ring
understand. I read through that 2 times to understand it. Like, dude, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I, I was so confused. I was so lost and confused. I
This
thought,
wasn't. Wait, this wasn't one sent at like 5 a.m. But she sent this, and I thought it was really funny.
that's awesome, dude. Dude, I don't know, man. It's just like, I thought, I don't know. I thought something was going on. I was like, why am I receiving all of
I
these?
really
Is this
hope
a
you put
secret
none of
code?
these images on the
No, it
screen.
was literally just that I told her I saw her scrolling on Twitter, um, and as she scrolled past an image of a smoking caterpillar, and I was like, oh, Tigers would like that, and so I said, Daisy, you should send that to him, and then she did, and then she made it her mission for the night to just keep sending you like specific images, and she would like once. Once you had like responded, she would make it her deliberate mission to scroll. She wouldn't like she would go through phases of, oh, Teagues hasn't responded yet, I'm just gonna scroll normally. Then as the moment that you responded and she saw that you responded, she would halt like all normal scrolling. She wouldn't like or look at anything. She would just go through like very quickly and scan her For You page to just see
God.
what is something I can send to Teagues. And it like had to be specifically
Ugh.
the right thing to send to you. And it was
That's
very
awesome,
funny.
dude. That's awesome, dude.
D, like, I mean this in the nicest way, Josh. D is an anomaly in my brain. Like, I don't understand how she functions.
That's fair.
Oh man. Well,
Like,
I don't know,
she
man.
is. She's like an SCP, bro. Like,
It's
I
actually
don't know, because
it's
the
pronounced
way she
autism,
interacts
Chew.
with both of you is very different from how she interacts with me. Um, but it's very
Uh-huh.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Dude. Did you guys? Chew,
what?
you used to use Skype, right?
Yeah.
Josh, you're too young for that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I knew what Skype was. I used it like once when I
Oh,
was younger, but that's about it.
actually didn't think you ever used it. I'm gonna be honest. I was just automatically assuming that you were too young. You're not even, dude. This is gonna be so funny in like 20 years when all of
Yeah.
our differences in age are completely meaningless.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
Yeah, we're
I
all gonna
still
be
do
like,
think of you as like as being way too young to know anything that like Chew and I grew up with.
No, I am aware of at least like three-fourths of the things, and anything else that I'm not aware of was probably still going on. I just lived under a rock.
Yeah, even though Chew's older than me. There's probably more
That
things
is
that I don't
true.
understand that he understands about the olden days before the war.
The days of yore.
this is how I see Joshua.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't. I think our entire friend group sees me that way just because I am the youngest one. I don't think that will
yeah,
ever not be the case.
dude,
We'll be like
literally
36
used
and
to
you'll
be the
still see me that way.
I literally used to be the youngest one, and now I'm like one of the older ones.
You were. Yeah.
We kept replacing the older members because now we have Akai who's younger. Because Akai was one of the younger people in my grade.
Interesting.
Is he
Wow,
younger
so
than Josh?
fascinating. No, he wasn't like some genius who was like 2 years ahead. He was just happened to be born in later in the years, so
Yeah.
yeah. It was like no, it's weird because like there's so many like summer birthdays where it's like either you're like a year if you're born this in the summer, you're either a year older or a year younger. There's like a really weird cutoff there.
Yep. I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah,
It's
but
really interesting because I'm the year younger, not year younger. I'm the year older side of things, and then I
mhm.
came like more into the online world, and now I am small baby.
Yeah, you are a
Yeah,
small baby man, bro.
So it's just
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I was on the one of the older people. I mean, there were people who were definitely significantly older, but I was on the older side, being a June birthday and all. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
What
dude,
happened to that, bro?
what do you mean?
Well, now you're like 7, bro.
I'm I turned
A
22 in
year.
under a month. Dude, I'm like a grown
Yeah,
adult now.
yeah.
I'm a grown adult, and I in fact paid taxes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Zoinks.
something I had to think about actually. I used to not have to think
Yeah.
about that when I was in high school.
Well, now you have to think about it.
Now I ponder that all the time. Actually, I think about it in like a philosophical context. Like, dude,
Why?
what tax? Do you not think about taxes?
I do actually.
Maybe you don't, because you don't
I
have
don't
money on the
actually.
mind. You don't have the money on
I
the
don't
mind the
pay
way I
them
do.
right now, but I do think
I
about
never
them.
see you at the bank, Joshua.
I never see you paying
Yeah,
taxes.
that's fair.
You're not the one
Yeah.
keeping the schools open.
You're not the one keeping the potholes filled around here.
Dude,
Wait a minute.
my personal taxes actually probably pay for my entire like high school to keep going.
Just you specifically yours.
Yeah. High
Yeah.
school receiving its yearly like $20. It's awesome, dude.
Car.
Car. But no, okay. Okay, dude, I literally will never beat the ADHD accusations because I completely got sidetracked when I started talking about how Josh was too young for Skype. But anyway, the reason I brought up Skype was because it got shut down. It shut down
It
recently.
did.
It's gone.
It
Oh,
did.
it did? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it is
I
gone.
heard. I
It
remember
fell off.
I remember hearing about when it was going to shut down, and I forgot. I was like, well, that's a sad bit of internet history that's disappearing, and then now it's gone. It's no longer here.
Yeah.
Can't use Skype
It's
anymore.
gone
But
forever.
okay, something interesting is that apparently TeamSpeak is trying to come back and make like a Discord alternative.
Oh yeah,
And
I saw
honestly,
Oh,
that.
yeah.
good. I actually
Yeah.
really hope they end up being successful because I don't necessarily have a lot of faith that's going to be better than Discord, but it will. It will. I think if they end up being a really good like alternative, and that's gonna make Discord a worry because right now there's not really a good alternative to Discord, and there's no
Yeah.
competition, and so they're not worried. They
Yeah.
can just keep making slop.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was just about to say. They can make, like, awful updates and UI changes,
Yeah,
which I
Yeah.
still don't understand certain UI changes because it's like
yeah,
it's never been an issue before. It's like, oh, we're just changing it just because we feel like it. It's like, why?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I don't play like Overwatch, but like when Overwatch 2 apparently had just like no significant updates for a long time. And then
Yeah.
the Marvel game came out and they started freaking out and putting out a bunch of new updates and content because they finally had real competition.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
I,
good.
I think weren't they originally not going to do the story mode, and they were like, "Hey guys, sorry, we're not going to
Yeah.
do the story mode." And Marvel Rivals came out, and they're like, actually, we're working on it right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? Good. 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 Competition is good in the business place.
We-
I say that as if I know anything about running a business, but
You are running a business.
you're running many businesses because you play so many Roblox tycoons.
Yeah.
You'd probably be a great businessman. Imagine being like interviewed on like Time magazine, and they're like, "How would you become the world's wealthiest man?" It's like, "Yeah, I studied Roblox Ice Tycoon."
No, you just go into like a giant skyscraper, and like I'm giving you the tour, and I'm like, okay, here's the floor where all of our droppers are.
Yeah. It's a drop. Oh, and we have 3 upgraders on this conveyor belt.
We're looking
Yeah,
to
I know.
invest into a fourth next quarter.
Yeah, and at the very end of the conveyor belt, we have the mega dropper that drops one giant cube every so often,
Yeah.
and then hit that with the upgrader, and you're just pretty much making money at that point.
And once I earn 100 million more dollars, I can buy this singular couch in this hallway.
Of course, this is all part of our lucrative business plan to one day eventually rebirth and tear everything down and start over, but with 5% more cash.
Could you imagine, like Steve Jobs has finally done it. He's like made like the iPhone 5. And he's like he's got the world in the palm of his hand, and he's like, I just want to let everyone know that I'm going to be rebirthing my tycoon. I'm going to start off in my garage again, working on computers, and
But
I'll
he's
see
gonna
you all
have
in
a 2
couple
times money boost this time.
It'll take me half much time to get to where I was now.
Dude, and once he hits 10 rebirths, he can hit the next level of prestige. It's awesome. Oh man,
that is literally I.
yeah, that's good, dude. You should do that too. But you don't have
Yeah.
a business degree.
No, I don't.
You can do
I'm gonna
soy
talk
jack
to my-
tycoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my boss and be like, "Hey, I think you should rebirth."
Yeah, then your salary is gonna double.
No, but I'm not gonna be hired yet because he's starting from nothing.
Oh yeah, well, no. Actually,
Yeah,
the
you'll
strat
lose
here
your job.
is that when he rebirths, you actually have to you have to like be employed way later in like the timeline because each employee he gains gets paid more, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you have to be like the last one he hires. So then you earn like 10,000 an hour.
Oh, that's true.
And the first guy he still earned like $3 an hour. So
Yeah.
That's kind of already how it works
it's kind
in like a way.
That's kind of true. I'm not gonna lie,
They
dude.
just hire people on for more money and paid the other workers the same amount
Yeah.
before.
Oh man, dude. So, I went to the mall like yesterday, and I picked up
Yeah.
from Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble is like the only thing I like at the mall. I'm be real, but I picked up the
That's
new D&D rule book, the 2024 Player's Guide.
Oh yeah, you were talking to me
Yeah,
about
which
that.
people are now calling 5.5e, which yeah makes sense. And this isn't
Yeah.
even really new because it's been out for a while. Because hey, guess what? The year's 2025. But I know I'm honestly generally in favor of a lot of the changes I've seen. I haven't read through much of it, but I had a chance last night to read through some of it, and yeah, it's I think it's pretty cool. They had I'm kind of sad that they didn't do anything with the classes. They didn't add any new classes, but they did add a couple new races, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they've added a couple new subclasses for certain things.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. I honestly don't have a great memory of which
Yeah,
subclass should be
I
in
remember-
5e.
I remember how like I saw something. I think it was recently. It was like a new artificer subclass, which is like wow, like that's been a long time in the
Well,
there's only been like
yeah.
3 official artificer subclasses since like
yeah.
5e, like the actual class debuted.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was ever in any books officially, though.
I thought it was an Eberron.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I meant the player, none of the players' guides.
Oh yeah,
Everyone
I got
does
you.
make sense, yeah. But I feel like it would make a decent fit in an actual player's guide, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm in the same boat where it's just like I haven't really read through it just because like I hate to be like, oh, I don't like change. It's just like I've in so many current games where we're just using like 5e already, so it's like,
Yeah.
what is the point
Yeah.
of me having to read through all this, especially if like I'm not gonna apply it anywhere. Like
yeah, right.
maybe if my my IRL group or like my online group, like we ever do a game that is the 2024 version, then I would read it. But it's just like
It wouldn't be too
right
much
now.
of a change, really. Like it's mostly
Yeah,
compatible.
exactly. Yeah, from what I've seen, it seems interesting. It's just like a bunch of like minor like
Yeah.
changes to like spells and like classes and things like that.
Yeah, the race stuff was most of the most significant things I've seen, honestly, because like now half orcs are just orcs, and I think that's mostly just I don't think there's any mechanical change there. They're just named differently and referred to differently,
Yeah.
I guess, to be more like vague. But also they got rid of half elves, which I thought was really interesting.
Interesting, really.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly why they did that. I think it's just to make things like I don't really know. I think it's just they want those to be distinguished into either humans or elves.
Yeah, I get.
So I guess the half elf wasn't significant enough, but yeah, because like yeah.
Yeah, so from what I've seen, like half elves and half orcs are like extremely popular.
Yeah, right. I mean, half orcs are pretty much the same. They're just called differently. So it was
Yeah,
half elves that were a little bit surprising to me, but also I don't really care because I never played half elves. That seems like I feel like half elf is quite possibly the most generic class.
it wasn't like half elf like the most popular race in BG3
In
in
probably.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah,
Yeah, in BG3. Yeah,
I thought it
probably.
was. Hang on, let me
I
look
don't
at it.
quite remember, and I don't remember how old those statistics were, but I think it was. And surprisingly, I was legitimately kind of surprised that Paladin was the most popular class. In fact, it was Paladin
Yep,
Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah, Paladin was most popular class, and half elf was
Yeah.
the popular choice.
But no one
With
played as like
sorcerer behind
halflings or dwarves or gnomes. They were
Yeah,
very rare.
halfling. Yeah, no one wants to be the tiny race.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the thing. Josh doesn't know what we're talking about, but
I don't.
Yeah, it's just Baldur's Gate.
yeah,
Balti's basic.
yeah, dude, shoot, you still haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I'm so sad.
I want to play it so badly. Some of my friends in my D&D group started a what's it called, a playthrough of it with like their own original characters.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, I want to do that so badly. And so I'm every day, like, it's slowly getting to the tipping point of I need to get a PC.
you do, man. I mean,
You do.
Yeah.
it can be expensive. I would say honestly, I would recommend doing it sooner than later because
Yeah, that's true.
prices. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say. The economy.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Prices
know
do
what?
be
That's
increasing
a
a
good
little
point.
That's kind of why I was in a rush to get my PC together because I was like, oh, yeah, this could turn out to be really bad. But yeah. Anyway, car.
Car.
I don't even know what else I was gonna say about that, but yeah, I think I approve of change. I like that there's change in the world, and I honestly actually wish there was more change in the 2024 rule book. I want them to put out a new edition, dude. That actually they're less reluctant to make big additions because like we can't just play 5e forever, dude.
Yeah.
You sound so defeated.
Well, because you're right. Because like the more that I think about it, the more I'm like the 3.5 players, where it's like I don't want to change. I don't want change.
And I mean, 3.5 was good, but yeah.
I mean, I know that, but I'm talking about like 3.5.
Yeah, no,
players.
I know. There are people who never moved on from
Yeah.
3.5. There are people who never moved on from like OD&D. So
yeah. So that's why I'm just like I gotta like change. I gotta embrace the change at some point, especially with like how similar it is in certain ways.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think I'm just gonna stick with just standard 5e because it's like I'm using it for so many things already.
Yeah,
So
I say fair enough. I mean, it's a versatile enough system. I'm curious. Have you ever used any of the official campaign settings? Any of the official settings?
I mean, I've used them as like like I know this isn't at all what you're asking, but I've used them as like inspiration for like
That's fair.
certain environments. But like
Yeah.
absolutely, I have not. I
Okay.
want to one day, like because
Yeah.
there are some cool ones that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that would be really fun to play.
I never got too much into. The only one I really know a lot about is, well, I don't even know a lot, but the only one I know at all is like Forgotten Realms, because that's kind of the most popular one. I never got too much into Eberron. I never really
Yeah,
learned much about that one, but that's pretty much the second most popular one, I'd say, probably. Don't you think?
yeah. I was just about to say like, I had a DM while
Oh yeah,
where it took place in the Forgotten Realms, but like it never didn't really follow the modules exactly.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I know a lot of the settings are kind of technically tied together in the same like broad universe. As the Forgotten Realms. They're just not the same like actual planet. Because like like Spelljammer just takes place in space, but it's still
Yeah.
in the same setting technically. It's just I've never played Spelljammer. Have you?
Oh, I mean, I had not the specific module. I did
Hmm.
play like a Spelljammer sort of inspired
Okay.
campaign
Yeah.
where I was a plasmoid barbarian.
Hmm.
Uh, there was a Tabaxi rogue, a
Hmm.
half drow bard.
Hmm.
There was a there's this race in Spelljammer that are like star elves. I don't
Hmm.
remember what they're called, but that's
Yeah.
the general gist of it. And then there was mechanically a human paladin, but he later
Uh-huh.
became an artificer. But his whole thing
Interesting.
was he was pretty much a bundle of nerves that
Oh,
was in a suit.
interesting.
It's a whole backstory thing that
Yeah.
I won't bore
Yeah.
you with, but it was a really fun revelation when we found that out.
Yeah. That's awesome. Josh, what
Howdy.
what was the last video game you played? Oh no. I realize that we're talking about things that
um,
Josh can't talk about. Now I need to balance it out, Josh. Josh.
that's fair. Good question. I'm pretty sure just Minecraft. Other
Oh,
than
okay.
that, um, I can't remember if it was Wanderstop or no, wait, it was Spore. Spore.
Oh
Other than
yes, dude,
Minecraft, the last thing I
Spore.
played was Spore, which
Was
is
that when
very
you were on
cool.
call? Or is that off call?
I've played it a couple times out
Okay.
of call, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. You're still getting I mean you're still getting like settled in because you just got back from the war.
The Magic War. That's right. How did it go?
Yeah, it feels weird because like logic yeah, man. So logically I know I should be like fairly settled in by now because it's been almost like I don't know, like a week and a half or so.
Uh-huh.
But I still feel like I just got back, which
Hmm.
is weird.
You still
Not really
see their
sure what to do about
faces.
that.
I mean, I don't know, man. It takes time to wind down from stuff, but
Yeah, it's time to wind
Yeah.
down from
wind
the
down from the
war.
war and forget.
You have to
Yeah,
move on,
Yeah.
Josh.
it wasn't your
those
fault.
those those young wizards, they weren't prepared for the spells that those ancient five wizards were casting. It's
Yeah.
not your fault.
Um,
You
a
didn't know
big
how
part
to
of it
counterspell yet.
is just that I've been trying to clean out my room and closet and like find spots for all the college stuff to go, but also get rid of all this old stuff. So I've been trying to do
Hmm.
that, and I'm pretty near finished actually. After that, I want to play like a Wii and a couple Wii U, and
Yeah.
64 games, just stuff like that.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, I don't know. And I am very much excited. The only real like role play adjacent thing is the project, which I am actually
That's
really
true.
excited to finally get my character down for that and for us to
Yeah.
start working out. For you to work out the script and for us to start recording because that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. secret, information for the real listeners who know. Yeah. So we might be working on a little thing. And everyone knows we're working on a thing. everyone already
But
knows
do
that, but
they?
we're working
Yeah,
on a
but they don't
thing
know.
to specifically we're gonna do some working on stuff today. So how about that? Today, and you don't know the date. No, today's Wednesday.
You
We
do
always
not.
record these on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The second that we
obviously.
stop, it immediately gets uploaded, dude. That's how this works.
Yeah.
It's basically a live stream. That's a really loud bird,
Yeah.
dude.
It
That's not a
is.
bird. That was a laser gun. I'm in the space war now.
Dude, Josh was just in the Magic War and you're in the Space War now?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, changed for copyright reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, to be fair, there has been some bird that is really loud every night, and no, I can't. Listen, it's just been loud. It's been annoying, and it's been keeping me up.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
No, I just someone I live with was like, "I'm gonna kill that fucking bird. I'm gonna shoot that fucking bird." It's like, dude, he's just doing his thing. I'm very real. Anyway,
Why does your neighbor hate birds, bro?
I don't know. It was just a really loud bird. It was like annoying and keeping people up. But yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the birds though. I like hearing birds, dude.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite thing about winter, actually. That's not my least favorite thing about winter, but it is something that sucks. Is just that you don't get to hear birds, bro.
You guys want to see what I was doing while you were talking about D&D stuff?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
had to strategically mute because a car passed by.
Car.
I was doing this.
Dwarf.
Dwarf.
It's a really good lead.
I love his stance.
Yeah, he's
That's very
he's
sturdy.
chilling. Yeah,
I bet you can't.
Like
Yeah, I
a
don't
rock.
think anyone could push him over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's immovable.
Yeah.
Is that your character?
At your OC.
It is not.
Josh, are you a dwarf? Would you be a dwarf if you were in D&D?
It's something I've definitely given a lot of consideration to.
Like, 'cause
Obviously,
you're
right
like
now I
5'6".
have.
No, you're like five foot
I'm not-
seven.
Yeah, I'm like 7 or 8 or something.
You're
like
7
that.
or 8 feet.
You're 7 or 8 feet tall, bro. I told you were 7 or 8 feet tall.
Oh no, dude! I would actually be like a halfling because I'm like 5'10".
Wow.
5'10"
given-
versus 6 foot, motherfucker.
I've given thought to it mostly just because of my time spent digging quarries in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I've given thought to the whole dwarf moniker, but I also like the idea of magic a lot.
No, you can be both. You can be like a
Yeah,
warlock
they're
or
like-
something.
Yeah, like a blade singer.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you could be a blade singing wizard. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That just means like a wizard with a sword.
yeah.
Blade singer, dwarf.
They actually added that to Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, they did? I forgot that they added all those
In
new
Pack
stuff.
8, they added a bunch of them. And it was weird because I realized that not all of them were even like D&D. I don't think a lot of I maybe they are in some supplement, but I don't think they were real like D&D subclasses. At least not in the main rule books.
Yeah, they definitely were not. A lot of them were definitely not main rule books.
Because
I
like
think they
the
were,
monk
like-
one was way different. That was the alcoholic one.
Oh yeah, a lot
Um,
of them are from either Xanathar's or just from various other books.
Yeah, because I know Barbarian got Giant, and I don't remember. Is that a real one from one of the books? I
Giant,
legitimately
yeah,
don't-
Giant's are real. I
Okay.
know Giant's a real one because that's what I play in the Spelljamming
Okay,
campaign.
do you know what book that's from?
I think it's from specifically like it's like Bigby's Guide to Giants or something.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
I was surprised because I think the one from the core rule book, at least in 5.5, is the Zealot one, the religious one.
oh yeah, Bigby presents Glory of the Giants.
Yeah.
So
Also, I like how
yeah,
we immediately went on another tangent about something that Josh
dude,
doesn't know about.
dude,
No,
I'm
that's
sorry, I
cool.
can't help myself. I really
I
like
mean, I
D&D,
like
but
half brought it up, so like it's cool.
Yeah.
speaking
Well,
of like D&D type stuff, I have had you sort of talked it before. I've had the next Earthbound dungeon planned out for a
Mhm.
while.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited for it.
We got to figure out a day for that, man.
Yeah, well, there may or may not be a
True,
special guest on the next Earthbound dungeon.
true. We gotta get a plan together, man. Because it's the summer and it's hard to schedule stuff. Because
Yeah,
I think everyone's working now. So
I was gonna say, Joshua, do you want to do it on the 1 year anniversary of the podcast?
I thought we talked about
Um,
this.
we
Oh
did talk
no!
about this.
Oh, that's right, we did. Sorry.
I wanna leave the 1 year as like its own special thing, but I do want to do Earthbound Dungeon again.
It might even be close to that date. I don't know if we do it soon enough.
Yeah.
Because that's in 4 weeks, and I don't know when we can schedule everyone. But I, yeah, I think we can probably figure out like a Sunday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how I'm trying to schedule this live on air. I don't know, man. I just I figure it would be better to schedule around like Akai because I think he has the least normal schedule. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Not to say who our special guest is. Akai's just gonna be hanging out there. By the way, he's not. He's not
Yeah.
our guest. He's not real. He's just gonna be in the back.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the
He's
live
gonna be
studio
reacting
audience.
to everything.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be
Live
awesome.
Akai reaction.
We just have one member who all he does is like make facial expressions.
He just Wojaks in the corner the entire time.
Once in a while,
We
he
just
he
no,
can
what we
say like,
do.
"Dude, that's crazy."
We get him to like do a whole bunch of different like basic lip sync pictures and then mesh them together like the original Fallout games.
That's awesome, dude. That'd be awesome. Yeah, yeah, man. That would be cool. Um, so what are you doing later?
Well, you
Oh,
know.
just yeah.
Oh my God. I was trying to breathe really
Yeah.
heavy as a bit, and I started choking. Dude, I gotta call to attention the fact that you guys and and Akai, I don't remember who started, but you guys will just say, "Oh, I did that earlier.
It was me.
We just
It
go,
was
"Oh,
Jim.
when we
Yeah, I think I actually started it on the pod.
I
yeah,
think so,
we
yeah.
do that, and it's the least helpful thing because now we're just this is just our excuse to not say things. This is literally
I'm
what I
gonna
say now
be
when I just don't want to tell someone something.
uh, I used to do it to Daisy as like a bit. Um, just she would ask me a question about like something pertaining to like one of you or like to the podcast or something, and I'd go, "Oh, and she'd go, "No, I don't," and it was very
Yeah,
deeply funny to me.
I'm
Um,
just so charismatic, guys. You can't help it be influenced by me.
dude. Uh, y-
yeah,
yeah, yeah, man. Not no, man. It's bad for me because now I just avoid this is how I avoid personal questions, dude. It's wild because I realized the other day that people just not even the other day. I've been realizing this for a while that people don't know like what I even people don't think that I exist because like I don't I don't tell people what I do like ever. There's literally someone I live with who didn't know I was in college. So there's that. Um. Anyway, uh, what are you guys up to later? Don't say oh or
um,
else
Fuck you.
that's what you're doing
I
later.
mean.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mind if I do, dude.
Don't
We
mind if I
gotta, we
do.
gotta, we gotta, we gotta, we gotta listen. It's not gonna look good
What?
if we keep doing this.
Doing what?
Oh, you know.
So, anyways, I'm gonna be designing my
For people who are
character for
listening,
the project.
for the audio listeners at home, Teeks and I are not dating.
We are not.
Teeks is dating how old was
Kai?
he? Like, like he's yeah. You're dating a 22-year-old man by the name of Philbert.
What?
Car.
You're
Car.
dating a 22. Yeah, you're dating a 22-year-old man named Philbert. I
Why
thought.
is it a man?
Good talk.
I really wanted a car to pass by while I was not saying anything.
I heard one of the birds in the background.
I really want.
It literally activated your voice detection. I
Have
was like,
we have we ever addressed the episode where Chu and I were silent for 15 minutes?
I
no,
don't. I don't.
we
To be
did.
honest,
We
I don't even
never.
remember what episode that
Well,
was.
we weren't there. I know that for sure. But like,
Uh,
I remember we did it in the episode for like maybe 20 seconds, and then right before you were about to upload it, you DM'd me personally like, "I have a little surprise for you."
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh boy, you gotta." You were like, "Check out the podcast when it uploads." And literally, I'm not even kidding you. I clicked on it, looked at the time, and I was like, "Did you edit like 10 minutes of silence onto the pod?" And you did. You
did.
had added 10 minutes of silence.
Dude, I put so much effort into that. I record 10 minutes of myself like sitting at my desk like clicking on stuff. I was like typing in a Google Doc the whole
Were you
time.
just typing? Were you just typing anything, or were you actually
No, I was
typing
I I
stuff?
was working on something. I had a little PDF I was working on at the time, man.
Oh, cool.
It was awesome. Oh man. Yeah.
Car.
Car.
Car. But yeah, yeah.
So
And by the
to
way,
come back to a topic
oh
from,
yeah.
well, you go ahead.
Oh, all I'm gonna say is I was tempted to do it for way longer than it was gonna turn out to be. So you're welcome.
Going back to a topic from earlier, what games have you guys been playing recently?
I already talked about it. I played a little bit of Oblivion the other day.
Yeah.
Roblox.
How often do you actually play Roblox?
I play. I don't know why. I was just playing like all weekend this weekend for some reason.
Yeah.
Dude,
Because
why
I
didn't you?
literally didn't have anything else to do, so I was just so there's even a worse version of tycoons called progression trees,
Oh God, I
Uh-huh.
know what you're talking about.
where it's literally like tiles on the ground, and you walk on a tile, and it
Oh
buys something, and
yeah.
like you get more. And so I was. So there's this one called like Ultimate Tree Progression, and it has like a whole story involved with it, but it's like still a progression tree. So I was literally just doing that all weekend, and because I don't know why, because uh, my normal D&D group we canceled because graduation was happening this weekend
Okay,
for
yeah.
some of them.
Yeah.
So which is like that's understandable, but I was like I don't have anything to do this weekend, so I was literally just like whatever. I guess I'll just play this, and then
Chew, why didn't you message me? I keep like messaging you at like 10 p.m. and you're like, "Hey, do you want to do something?" I've been like
well
bored all
because by
day.
the time you message me, I'm just in bed and I'm like I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
know, but I keep being like, "Oh, I'm bored all day," and you're like, "Yeah, we can do it tomorrow." And then you didn't message me the entire day. And it turns out you were
yeah.
just playing Roblox.
Yeah, I got distracted.
Oh man.
I was
Uh,
busy. I had to beat World 3 of the tree progression.
I was also
every
busy. I had
time
guests over,
you
man.
talk, yeah, Chew, every time you talk about Roblox, it depresses me, and it really just makes me want to like actually put in some amount of effort to learn Lua to make some of the game ideas that we've had so that
Make a
Roblox
good
can
game.
be, yeah, make a good game. Don't
But
just
you
I'm
make
know,
sorry, bro. I'm playing Fart Tycoon,
yeah,
bro.
he's just gonna go back to Slop Tycoon, dude.
Yeah.
well, maybe he won't if we're making something.
Maybe, maybe if you drop actual peak.
You know what? You make that game, and I'm gonna make Piss Tycoon, and we'll
No.
see who gets more money from that.
I bet you. I
You.
actually
It'll
bet
be
you will
you.
absolutely make more money off of that too,
That's much more easily monetizable, and you'll still get like
dude.
3 cents.
I was talking about this with Akai the other day that tycoons have to be like money laundering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like actually, they have to be because there are studios where their entire gimmick is that they own like 40 different tycoons,
Oh yeah.
and it's like these are the worst games. But they have players, and I guess people spend money on them. But it has to be a cover up for like a meth operation.
Well,
I'm calling it right now.
that's how you get your money, bro.
It's yeah, dude. Yeah, it's literally Schedule One in real life, dude. Dude, let me. Sorry, I'm getting really sad. I'm getting really sad that I'm bringing up the dude count every time I speak. I don't know how to address like someone in a conversation. I just go, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like it.
all I'm saying. What the fuck was? Oh yeah. So, dude, listen. People were remaking Schedule One in Roblox, and it was sad because they just didn't exist when I was making my video, so I couldn't include those in the
Oh
video.
Would
I
yeah.
didn't
you
have a
have done
chance.
it?
Probably not. It would have been way too slow, actually. Because Schedule One is not
I
really a
didn't
fast-paced
realize what
game.
Schedule One was.
I
So I
didn't
saw
either.
so I saw a clip of it and I was like, what is this game? And I was like, this is what Akai's been playing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
just
drug
keep seeing
simulator.
Akai play it, and I'm like, that looks like the Shrek logo. And I told him that, and he was like, that's fire, man.
It
And
actually
then he
kind of does.
never
Yeah,
seen what
that
it
sounds like
actually
him.
was.
That is how
Uh,
Akai talks to people. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. It's like every time I hear about the game. Okay, whenever I hear people talking about like the most efficient ways of like making money and winning the game is to not even sell drugs. You literally pick up like trash and gamble.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
like a waste of
awesome.
money to do drugs. So or to sell drugs. Actually, can you? I think you can do drugs in the game. But anyway, yeah. It's a. I actually okay. I'm so curious now how someone made that in Roblox. Because how is that? You have to change everything.
Yeah,
You're not making drugs anymore. You're making like Bloxy Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
yeah. Did you guys see that generic roleplay game got updated?
I did. I haven't had a chance to play it,
I
but
think so,
I
yeah.
haven't I haven't played it either. It's weird. Like there's cars and apparently there's a new map and it's
yeah.
What?
interesting.
There's a new map?
I think they just updated
Apparently,
it.
like let me see. There, travel across a huge reworked map. There's like
Yeah.
roads and
Oh.
ramps and races,
He
and I
just
don't
improved it.
get it because it does not mesh with the pre-existing game at all. And the ratings of the game have come down like at least
Really?
10%.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a shame. I thought
yeah.
that sounded cool to me, but I don't know. It's either people are just
I
resistant to
haven't tried it
change,
out
or it
yet.
is actually kind of bad. Because I have had that happen to certain games. Like there was this game I used to really like when I was like 17. Um, there was this game called like Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5 or something, and I really liked that one. And then they ended up changing stuff to like make it a lot different and more difficult and less
Yeah,
sandboxy, and I kind of ruined it. Car,
yeah,
but
that makes
people
sense.
didn't like it as much
Hard.
after that point. I remember that was I
Yeah,
was even yeah, that was one of the few games where I was in their Discord and I just saw their general chat be spammed to people being like just like complaining about it.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah. In fact,
yeah.
I don't even want to talk about this. Okay, that was one of the, that was one of the games that was in the footage for the clips video. And by the way, it's probably obvious, but in the clips video when it's just Chu, Akai, and I talking those times, like
Yeah.
the me section. That one, like all of the footage for that was pre-recorded. That wasn't happening during the clip. I just was
Oh,
like,
it
I need to
wasn't.
put gameplay here because I was just record. I was just actually focusing on the
I
conversation
assumed
those
as much
times.
because I was like, I was like, was he playing games when
No,
when we were
I was
talking? And I
I
was like,
was
I don't think
literally
so.
I was literally just on Discord. I wasn't even tabbed out to anything. I was just focusing on the conversation that time, man.
Yeah. You did a good job because I thought because I saw it and I'm like, oh, I didn't know they were playing games while that whole thing was
Well, yeah,
happening. I
because
thought
I
they were
tried to
just on
make it
call.
look somewhat believable because I was like clipping it with the audio to make sure it looked like I was
Yeah.
actually doing it. So yeah, because I was like, that's gonna be a lot more interesting than just
Yeah.
us talking over Discord with emojis. Which I mean, I did a little bit of that, but like only when I thought it worked.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, yeah. To what games have you been playing on Roblox lately?
Uh, well, I've been playing that one tree progression game.
Hmm.
Hang on, let me look. Let me look at my most recent games I've played. Uh, I played Ultimate Tree Progression. I played Alien Wars. I played Dragon Ball Tycoon.
Uh huh.
And there's this fun game that I played.
Oh yeah, what
Uh,
game was that?
it was
Wah,
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 wah.
wah, wah.